Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to my new vlog. I realize I haven't done any vlogs in a while now and I just decided to talk about something. And in this video I'm gonna talk about toxic people and why you should avoid them and how to recognize them. So recently I had a situation where I hanged out with this toxic person for years. And if anyone knows who I'm talking about, please keep it for yourself. I don't want to name that person. It totally doesn't matter who that person is. So just keep it for yourself if you know who I'm talking about, please. I don't want to offend anyone or whatever. I just want to share my own opinions and thoughts on toxic people, how to recognize them, and why you should avoid them. So I can't say that I hate them, I don't hate anyone, honestly, but I just don't like to stick around toxic people. And here's how you're gonna recognize a toxic person. Toxic person is usually an egomaniac. That's a person that constantly has to boost its ego. It constantly has to make fun of other people to boost its ego, and it constantly has to feel above everyone else, and that person has to be the best. He or she has to lead the main word around people when there are some talks around, and it's just very toxic. And the problem is when you don't realize that, when you hang out with that person thinking that's your friend or whatever, but you don't realize how toxic that person is. For example, this person I was hanging out with, that person loves black humor, and there are limits. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of black humor. We all love it sometimes, but there are limits, and this person recently started crossing those limits to the point where that person makes other people feel like shit, and that person starts to treat other people like shit, and I just didn't like that. And I seen that other people are being hurt by this person, and I decided to say, no, stop it, this is wrong what you're doing. And that's where pretty much things escalated, and then I realized, that this person I was hanging out with for years and thinking that was my very good friend, it actually turned out that that person was constantly just feeding its ego, and that person just wanted to be really above everyone else, So another tip how you're gonna recognize a toxic person is, they're always full of advices, they're always full of creative ideas, they're always the smart ones, they always know everything, but they're changing nothing about their own life. They're not doing anything about their own life. They're spreading so many good advices, but none of these advices actually are being used by themselves in their own lives. So that's extremely fucking toxic. Avoid these people by any cost, because if you stick around these people, you most likely gonna become like them. You're not maybe gonna become like them, but you're gonna pick up a lot of the things from them, a lot of bad habits that are actually slowing you down in doing something that you would really like to do, and it's just slowing you down in your dreams, and it just distracts you from your primary focus and what's the best for you. So that's what toxic people do. Now another thing I realized is that these toxic people, sometimes they don't even realize that they are doing that. They're unconsciously doing that to other people. They think that they're just talking and doing what they think it's good for themselves and others, but the fact is that you never really know what's good for someone, because everyone has different situations in life and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, toxic people are philosophers, full of advices, full of creative ideas and all that kind of crap, but they don't use any of that on themselves. So that's another tip how you're gonna recognize a toxic person. It's really obvious, you know. That's something that you should look for first. That's how I realized that person I was hanging out with was really toxic. Too bad I realized it after all these years. I could have saved so much of my time and energy and money and a bunch of other things, you know. I felt really bad after breaking the friendship with this person, because I considered that person a really good friend, and I felt like shit. So whenever someone makes you feel like shit, you should ask yourself, is that person really good for me or not? Because you want to surround yourself by people who throw logs on your fire, not by people who piss on your fire, like this person was for all these years. And somehow I was stupid enough not to see that. That person was spitting so much on other people for doing some things, while that same person is now doing those things. And that's when I realized that what the fuck, like, you just trash talked other people, but it's you who is actually doing all of that now. And for me it was a big deal, I would say, because like I said, I was hanging out with that person for years and I really considered that person a friend. It just feels like somebody spit it in my face and said like, fuck you, and thank you for boosting my ego and helping me out to reach the goal that I wanted to reach, and I don't totally give a fuck about you. So that's kind of what happened to me, and I don't want that to happen to anyone, because it will absolutely make you feel like shit, and it will absolutely waste your time and money and energy. So just avoid these people. My tip for you, if you want to be successful in life, is that you need to surround yourself with positive people that support you and that actually really care about you, and they care about how you feel. And you should surround yourself with people that are happy with their own lives. So you cannot stick around people that are not happy with their own life at the first place, because that's toxic. Like, if they're not happy with their own life, then they're gonna dig through the other people's life, and they're gonna be toxic constantly, and they're gonna turn into egomaniacs. So avoid these people by any cost, and you're gonna save yourself so much time. Trust me, just avoid them and look for people that are actually using these creative ideas and advices and everything they give to you. They're using that in their own life. They're first applying that to themselves, then they're telling it to other people. Now that's a good person, a reasonable person, a successful person who actually loves themselves. So you cannot love anyone else if you don't love yourself, if you're not happy with your own life. So yeah, that's, I think, why you should avoid toxic people. They're going to waste your time, your money, your energy, and they're gonna make you feel like shit, and it's gonna be bad. And trust me, you don't want that. Take these tips, think a little bit about it, think about people that you're surrounded with, sit a little bit and think by your own, like, are these people actually completing me, or are they slowing me down and taking away my dreams and my ideas from me that I really wanted to come true? That's what you should ask yourself. And yeah, I think I said everything I wanted in this little vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally fine. Also, you can join my Chris Facebook group. Link is down below in the description, together with my ask.fm, where you can leave any questions if you have any questions, and I'll answer to them as soon as I see them. Also, let me know down below in the comments what are your opinions and thoughts on my opinions and thoughts, and you can always have some nice discussion, polite discussion. And yeah, just share your visions and opinions and thoughts on toxic people and that social toxicity that's happening today. These are mine. And yeah, guys, I love you, and thank you for watching. I appreciate everything you've done for me and my channel so far. You're amazing, and I'll definitely see you in the next videos. Chris out.